Did the developers finally manage to outdo themselves? Could the new region in Genshin Impact actually be better than Fontaine and Sumeru combined? After playing through the 6.0 story, my answer is an unequivocal yes. Hey everyone, Evers here. I literally just finished, like an hour ago, playing through, or maybe I should say, experiencing the new Archon quest, and my hands are still shaking a bit. My emotions are running high, my head is buzzing with theories, and I just have to share this with you all. The community is on fire right now, and almost everyone agrees this is possibly the best starting patch and the best introduction to a nation we have ever gotten. Today, we're going to break down why. This will be a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't finished the story yet, consider this your warning. But for those who are all caught up, brew some tea, get comfortable, and let's start dissecting this masterpiece. The first thing I have to talk about is the pacing. Remember how in previous regions we'd sometimes hit moments where the plot just dragged? Long, drawn-out dialogues, fetch quests that slowed down the main intrigue? Well, you can forget about all of that. The 6.0 storyline, which totals about 8 hours, flies by in a single breath. Not once did I feel bored or that the story was being stretched out. Every dialogue, every scene serves the bigger picture. It perfectly weaves together world lore and the personal dramas of the characters. There's no feeling of one being sacrificed for the other, where we get 20 minutes of exposition before they remember the characters exist. We uncover global mysteries related to the spaceship and Teyvat's past, and at the same time, we dive deep into the stories of new heroes like Lauma. Her personal story arc is a masterclass in how to integrate a character's journey into the main plot. It doesn't feel like filler. It's a crucial piece of the overall mosaic that makes us genuinely care about the fate of this world. And yes, the developers have clearly been listening to feedback. Remember our fears about how they would handle the spaceship reveal? In version, it's done with incredible thought and logic, without any sudden, out-of-place plot devices. And get this, they didn't show us a farewell party in that land. They just hinted at it and let us move on. Thank you, HoYoverse, for respecting our time and the story's momentum. You know, a story is nothing without its characters. And oh my Archon, do we have a lot to talk about here. First up, our Traveler. I don't know who was in charge of writing their lines in this patch, but please give that person a raise and assign them to the project forever. Our protagonist talks, and they talk a lot. They just wouldn't shut up. This is nothing like the couple of lines a year we got in Mondstadt or Inazuma. They talk more than the main character in any Honkai Star Rail patch. At first, I thought it was just because the Abyss twin was present. You know, how the devs let our hero be more emotional in those moments. But no, the Traveler continues to actively participate in dialogues, express their opinions, joke, and argue even when the twin is nowhere to be seen. They are proactive, they make decisions, they even save other playable characters when it's usually the other way around. They are a true protagonist, not just a silent observer or a walking camera for the player. We finally see their personality, their weariness, their determination. And the cherry on top, the developers even poked fun at the criticism about everyone constantly praising the Traveler. There was a scene where Paimon and Nefer start hyping them up, and the Traveler gets embarrassed and feels guilty because they had just almost stolen a relic. It was so human. I really hope this is the new standard for our protagonist. Hey, speaking of standards, have you subscribed yet? A lot of people think it's not that important, but I have to disagree. It's incredibly important to me. So go on, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Now for our new acquaintances, Lauma and Flints. Lauma is a revelation. Her design might be a bit questionable at first, but her personality, she's calm, reliable, but with a spark inside that ignites in critical moments. You can feel that she's holding a lot back, and I can't wait for her mask to finally drop so we can see the storms raging in her soul. But Flints, well, here's the fly in the ointment, as they say, and I know many in the community feel the same way. The idea of a stoic, emotionless character is interesting, but his voice acting, it feels like the voice director told the actor, read this like you absolutely do not care. And he took it way too literally. The result is a completely monotone voice that sounds like he's reading from a script, not performing. Maybe it's a plot point that will be revealed later, but for now, it's the only aspect that slightly misses the mark in an otherwise high-quality patch. And of course, the Fatui. Sandrone, despite only being the 7th Harbinger, played a significant and powerful role. Her image as the puppet master pulling the strings was executed perfectly. And Columbina? Well, she's exactly as we imagined her after the A Winter Night's Lazo teaser. Ethereal, aloof, and her calmness is genuinely unsettling. No disappointments here, just a confirmation that the Harbingers are one of the most fascinating factions in the game. But the real star of this patch, the one who instantly raised the stakes tenfold, was the main antagonist, Rerir. This is phenomenal. Just after Skirk's quest, we learned about the power level of Certalogy, and now we're introduced to a sinner whose might transcends worlds. Rerir has presence, an aura of absolute threat. He isn't just another villain we'll defeat with the power of friendship. He is the embodiment of cosmic horror, something far more ancient and powerful than the schemes of the Fatui or the plans of the Abyss Order. The scene where he, using only 10% of his power, just obliterates our entire team is incredible. It makes you feel utterly helpless. And the climax? The battle of a Fatui Harbinger against a sinner. Sandrone taking on Rerir. That cutscene alone is an 8 out of 10. And that moment, all other conflicts fade into the background. This is the true threat to Teyvat, and the writers understand this perfectly, showing us that old enemies can become unexpected allies in the face of a greater evil. I also want to mention one moment that made old theories flare up with new life: the memory of the spaceship and the twins' journey. Remember a long time ago, after talking with Nahida, there were popular theories that our Abyss twin isn't the real one, that they're a clone, or that the travelers' memories were altered and their journey across worlds never happened? Well, after what we saw in 6.0, those theories might be coming back. Something in that memory feels interesting, and that is incredibly intriguing. Of course, not everything is perfect. Some aspects are purely subjective. For example, the music. Not everyone loved the Celtic motifs, especially the bagpipes and the battle tracks. For some, it was too reminiscent of Western RPGs like The Witcher and felt a bit out of place with the visual style. Though you have to give them credit for experimenting, and the calm open-world music is, as always, beautiful and creates an amazing atmosphere. The steampunk visual style also wasn't for everyone, but that's a matter of taste. There's also a feeling that this region has a few too many childlike characters. Maybe it's related to future UGC content that will use their models. But these are minor details that don't spoil the overall impression of the grand picture. So what's the bottom line? Version 6.0 is, without a doubt, the strongest start in the game's history. Fantastic pacing, a mature and multi-layered story, a lively and talkative protagonist, charismatic new characters, and an antagonist who inspires genuine fear and respect. This is the Genshin we've been waiting for, a game that isn't afraid to evolve, to become darker, more complex, and deeper. If this is just the beginning, I'm almost afraid to imagine what awaits us in future updates. So, what did you think of the new chapter's beginning? Who's your favorite new character? What are your thoughts on Rerir and his power? And what theories popped into your head after playing? Be sure to write everything in the comments. Let's discuss. Thanks for watching until the end. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any new deep dives into the secrets of Teyvat. See you next time, travelers.